oils, all of that fat.
That is so much better than ham.
Put it into your coffee.
For 5 long, dark years.
Just put a tablespoon in your mouth.
The flavor is something that you wouldn't expect.
Although it's true to some extent, there's still a lot of foods that you shouldn't eat on the ketogenic diet.
No.
Especially if you want to get into ketosis and become keto adapted. Welcome, my name is Sim, and in this video I'm going to explain you what not to eat on the ketogenic diet.
No, no, no.
Don't put these things into your mouth. Ketosis is your body's miraculous metabolic state that makes your body use ketones and fat for fuel instead of glucose. Usually the general guideline is that you need to restrict your carbohydrate intake to less than 30 to 50 grams net, which means you don't include the fiber. The process of keto adaptation takes about 2 to 3 weeks. During that time, your liver's enzymes, they change and they begin to prefer more fat and ketones for fuel. So it's not just you who's becoming a fat-burning beast. Your microbiome is also becoming keto adapted in a sense. However, what makes a diet ketogenic isn't the high amounts of fat. Fat is just a source of energy. The ketosis aspect of it comes from restricting your carbs, which keeps your blood sugar low, which then suppresses insulin and allows your liver to start producing ketone bodies. So you just can't eat.
You want to eat?
The biggest devil in this situation is sugar. You know, that white substance that's more and more associated with all types of diseases. Glucose and ketones are like opposites to each other, and they can't really coexist very well. So here are the carbohydrates you want to avoid. No grains, such as pasta, pizza, cookies, crackers, cake.
Put that cookie down!
And even whole meal grains like rye, oats, corn, barley, millet, bulgur, rice, buckwheat, and amaranth. No refined carbs like sweets, ice cream, pudding, chocolate, high fructose corn syrup, which will definitely give you diabetes, maltodextrin, double diabetes, and artificial sweeteners as well, like sucralose and aspartame. Those things are deadly for your microbiome and your ketogenic adaptation. You have to be very careful with reading the labels because they put that stuff everywhere, man. Sugar hides everywhere.
Actually, I'm surrounded by diabetes.
No high-carb tubers, white potatoes, yams, sweet potatoes, and such. Turnips, carrots, and beetroot are in the yellow zone. You can eat them just a little bit, but definitely avoid them completely during adaptation. Afterwards, they're great additions for some micronutrients. No legumes, no beans, no lentils, no soy.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
Definitely avoid canned beans in tomato sauce because that's not probably real tomato sauce. It's more like sugar sauce. Fructose is also sugar. You can't be eating apples, bananas, pears, oranges, pineapples, grapes, or mangoes. You should definitely avoid fruit juices and dried fruit as well, like dates and raisins. Lemons and limes are great because of the vitamin C and the citric acid in them. Berries like blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, and cherries are also great because of their fiber and vitamin C. No high-carb alcohol, beer, sweet wine, mojitos, piña coladas, ciders, long drinks, or any other type of cocktails. They're all full of sugar. If you're going to drink, then stick to clean spirits, such as vodka and gin.
But why is the rum gone?
What about protein? Keto might seem like a high protein diet, but it's not. You have to keep your protein intake moderate because too much protein can actually elevate insulin.
Great. Stuck in an elevator with 5 guys on a high-protein diet.
There's also the myth that excess protein will be turned into sugar, that gluconeogenesis. But gluconeogenesis is mostly driven by demand, not supply. Your body will begin to turn protein into sugar whenever it feels the need to, not because you simply ate, let's say, 50 grams more protein or something.
Chicken, turkeys, rat.
No processed meat. This includes bacon, beef jerky, and salami cured in dextrose, hams, canned meat, spam, sausages that have wheat in them, corned beef, hot dogs, and all types of bolognese sauces. No fish with added sugar. Don't eat fish canned in tomato sauce. And if it's not in tomato sauce, then it's probably in rapeseed oil or other inflammatory oils. So you can either take them out, rinse them under water and then eat them, or avoid them completely. What about milk? Milk has quite a lot of carbs in them, like 4 to 5 grams per 100 milliliters. and it can also spike insulin because of IGF-1. Of course, some real raw milk can actually be very good for a ketogenic diet, so you have to keep it moderate and make sure it's a quality source.
You ain't got no damn milk. Ain't that a bitch?
What about fat? It's thought that on a ketogenic diet, you're allowed to eat infinite amounts of fat. Well, it's definitely not going to stop your keto adaptation. How much fat you should consume every day depends on your caloric intake. As it was with protein, not all fat is the same. No trans fats, hydrogenated trans fats, such as margarine. They're extremely inflammatory and high in omega-6 fatty acids. Sunflower, canola, saffron, cottonseed, soybean, corn oil, grapeseed, they're also extremely inflammatory. No rancid fats. Fatty acids go very rancid when you expose them to heat or sunlight, which then causes more oxidative stress and inflammation. Don't heat olive oil and keep it in a dark bottle away from sunlight. Don't let your avocados go rancid and too dark. Don't overcook your eggs, bacon or fish. You shouldn't roast your nuts and seeds either. Eat them raw, or even better, sprout them overnight. Salted nuts with some sodium are fine because they will allow you to balance your electrolytes more. Don't boil your fats and deep fry them either, because it's not optimal for overall health.
Relax, man. I'm just trying to grab some nuts.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken.
If you need some sort of assistance with starting the ketogenic diet, then check out my simple keto video course. But other than that, click the like, subscribe, notification bell as well. Like always, thanks for watching. My name is Sim. Stay ketotic, stay empowered.